Welcome to Battle Network Academy. In this video I'll be going over Shooting Star. Shooting Star first appears in Battle Network 2 and becomes a recurring chip throughout the entire series. This attack functions in the same way in each of its appearances. It'll shoot down 30 meteors at your opponent's area, hitting each panel, dealing 40 fire damage per hit. This attack, unlike the other meteor chips in the Battle Network series, is a time freeze attack, meaning that each hit is going to be guaranteed, granted that they don't have any defenses like anti-damage, invis, or a shield up. Like the other meteor chips, Shooting Star benefits heavily from area grabs. The less area your opponent has, the more hits you're going to get out of it. The minimum amount of damage that you're going to be getting out of this is 80, and that is when you are at -2 area. At -1 area, you'll be able to get 2 to 3 hits depending on where your opponent is, and this will deal 80 or 120 fire damage. At neutral area, you'll get 3 to 4 hits out of this, depending on where your opponent is, and this will deal 120 to 160 fire damage. When you are at +1 area, you'll get 5 hits out of this attack, and it will deal 200 fire damage. And when you're at +2 area, you'll get 10 hits out of this attack, dealing 400 fire damage. Also, in Battle Network 2 and 3, you can completely area lock your opponent, leaving them with only one panel to exist on. Since this attack only targets your opponent's area, all 30 meteors will hit. This will deal 1,200 fire damage, putting this attack on par and above some Giga chips. This is all without boosts, by the way. This attack can get kinda weird when introducing panel grabs or body blocking area grabs. You can end up getting more or less hits out of it depending on where your opponent is, if the area is kinda awkward. This is a fantastic chip. In Battle Network 2, 3, 5, and 6, this chip is referred to as Meteors. But seeing as my last 2 videos were all called Meteors, I wanted to separate them, and I went with the Battle Network 4 name, Shooting Star, which I think sounds way cooler, so I'm just going to call it that from now on. While looking at the damage numbers for this chip, in the context of Battle Network 6, where Shooting Star is a standard chip, this attack is just short of doing the same amount of damage as Base, a Giga chip. Of course, that requires a little bit of setup, and you can't just whip it out like you can with a Giga chip, but still pretty good. And before any of you say anything about it, I will be covering Sun Moon in its own video next week. So look forward to that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.